Hello, everybody. This is Pete from Paw Labs, and I wanted to give you a little taste of my fix at the end of that last to work out the orientation of the isometric bridge on the diagonals, and I think it came out pretty decent. So I'm sure if I pasted some water underneath that bridge, it'd look pretty cool. So anyhow, there's the end, the fixed end, and really all I did was just kind of play around with it and get it moved correctly. So in this video, I want to show you how to do a grid. Okay, so I'm gonna delete. Oops, I didn't want to do that specifically. I wanted to do this. God dog it, get off the wrong layer. There we go. Now I'm going to get rid of that grid. Okay, so there are a bazillion plugins for Paint.net. What I did the other day was come out to the browser and typed in Paint.net grid, and a grid plugin popped up. And I looked at it and said, that's about the perfectest thing I can think of. And I want to, if you're interested, when you install Paint.net plugins, let's jump back to something, get back eventually. There we go. Paint.net, wherever it is you install it. And I believe I have it on the 64-bit version on my D drive. So we go up one more, and it should be here. And let's see, scroll down, and lo and behold, there is Paint.net. We have effects, and in effects is all the DLLs where you stick your grid or whatever the plugins you want to put in. And this was mine. It's called gridwarp.dll. And all you do is you copy the DLL, drop it into the effects folder, restart paint.net, and you've installed the DLL. Okay, now the next question is, where on earth do you find it? And you will find it in effects. And I believe it was under render, and I have a grid maker here, this grid checkerboard. So then I can come in here and say, oh, no, this isn't the right one. This is one that's actually going to make a fancy grid layout thing. It was the other one. I'm in effects, render, gradient grid. Maybe that was it. No, but it might work. No, I don't want this one either. I've installed several of these, and it's just a matter of finding the one that had the right screen on it. So I really thought it was that one. Gradient bars. No, it wasn't gradient. Maybe it was just, oh well. I guess this will do. Let's come in and say 128, and we want a line width of 1. I want it to be pencil thin, okay? So I put in my width of what I want the grid, and you can build your grid at any size you like, and presto, there's my grid. So now when I want to come here and take these and put them in, I'm going to copy these, each individual frame, and come back over to my grid. That doesn't look like it laid down right. I think it went based on my selection. Let's do that again. It just didn't look right. Render grid checkerboard and 128, and we say great, and that looks better. Okay, so then we can say edit, paste into a new layer, and you see how my 128 image, it gives me the dotted 1 pixel wide lines, and I just line them up on top of the lines of the grid. Okay. So then let's see, I'm going to go clockwise around. So you would be my next one. And we'll come in and say, edit, paste into a new layer. And then we just simply slide him over. And he's going to come in about there. Back it up one. Yep, there you go. And then we'll come in and grab, heading down, Control A, Control C, and I will paste this in, edit, paste into a new layer. Holding the Control key, it moves a bunch faster. And we line it up to where those dotted lines are on the lines. And there we go. When we're all done, I'm not going to do all of them in this video. I kind of think that's a little crazy, but I'm not beyond it. What I also want to show you is I did the same thing to the layout. So I can actually display how these are going to look in the grid for the pointy top grids. So I can do a double check before I save it and make sure everything's fine. And now I can save this grid and then read it back in. And as long as I know the sequence of the order when we go about doing the map making, we can actually put those in. Now, I want to show you some of the other graphics that I've done. And these are all kind of just hodgepodge put together. So I built a cemetery. I mean, what good map doesn't need a cemetery, right? So I built this cemetery that you can drop in. Whoops, come on. Got to keep up with me here. There we go. Now, the square on the bottom is 128 by 128. The square on the top is 48 by 48. Those are very similar graphics to what I was doing in the Ultimate Map Maker. And I plan to do this the same way, where even if it's a hex, okay? Because what I'm planning to do is grab these top images and put them in a selection area. And you can choose your selection just like I did in the Ultimate Map Maker. But here, you're also going to be able to lay it down as a hex grid. The borders will probably look a little funky, but okay, I'm going to give it a try and see what it looks like. It may work out, it might not. I plan to use my negatives that I have for the various hexes and plant a hex, pull the hex out of the center of that 128 by 128 grid using these guys. Okay, so if I take the 128, and let's just take this guy for instance, if I drop him in here, edit, paste into new layer, and then center him down where he belongs. Okay, so that is how that one would come out. So you could make a, maybe I got to rethink that one a bit. These other guys that I've been building, it's a solid, it's a solid square down there, like with, that's what I said. First thing I ever do on a project is build out the graphics. So here's just some dirt, and let's put that in on top of the dirt. Edit, paste into new layer, and you can get the idea of what I'm planning to do. So there we go, something close to this. And what I'm going to do is cut that cell at 128, print a negative of this, which will take the black and make it holes in the graphic as I bring it up to the screen, and then start painting the grid with that graphic. Or if you have this other flat top in there, I'm going to do the exact same process. Edit, paste into a new layer, and we'll use this guy in there and take that one out. And then I'll paste that in over it as a negative, and then we'll use those. So that way I have one set of graphics, and it doesn't matter if we're doing whatever grid style you want for your game. I can build the graphics on the fly and then go ahead and paint the terrain. And I'm planning to paint the terrain much like I did with the Ultimate Map Maker. So you can actually do the selected ranges, and it'll paint it in across multiple graphics really fast. So the other graphic style I'm looking at is this grid that we just did in this video. And to show you one of these, probably the best one of these, where's foliage? Surely I probably left them over here. Yes, I did. Okay, so foliage is going to do this. Now, the idea here, this I'm going to come in and take just a random one of these and put a 48 by 48 on top. Okay, so it looks the same, it's just much bigger. So foliage, you don't want to paint your foliage areas with the exact same tile. It looks silly. It looks much better if you have a random sampling. So the idea is when you start painting an area with foliage, I've got a 3x4 grid here of 12 different tiles that I'm going to randomly pull out and place into those hexes that we're doing. So you get an automatic random pattern placement of foliage into your tree areas. So that's the idea behind these. What I would like to try to figure out a way to do is in water. Let's go look at water. This is the rivers, okay? So this goes with the bridges. Let's see if I look at that, we're going to need, oh goodness, I'll never grab this right, but you'll bear with me and I'll be close, okay? So we'll come down and grab something like this, and then come up here to the river, paste into a new layer. Oh crap, I didn't grab the right one. Oh well, too bad. Let's go ahead and put it underneath the bridge pieces, and I will slide it along, grab it, and say, okay, so it's going to be under the bridge, something like that, okay? So you would have the capability of building a river that has 2 hexes in width, okay? Which I think is pretty slick. It's going to be able. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I'm wanting there to be engineers in the game, and then once we have engineers in the game, you maybe spend $1,000 on your engineer, and you tell them to come out here and build a bridge. The engineering unit vanishes from the board, and the bridge takes its place. And if the bridge gets blown up, then you've lost your engineer, okay, altogether. If you choose to take the bridge apart, you can dismantle the bridge back into an engineer and move him on his way. Another hex that I have for engineers and concept and thought in my head was a landing airfield. Okay. Let's see. If I grab the airfield, I got to finish putting it together, don't I? Haha. Let's see. So if I have an airfield and we come over here, where was I? Oh, here we are. Let's put an airfield on one of these. Edit, paste into a new layer. Okay, so it'll fit on the hex, probably not with the bridge in there. This one's kind of designed specifically for this tile set here, but it would fit in the center, something like that. If we take the rest of these off, you'll get a better idea. Oops, I didn't mean to take the grid off. Oh, well, I guess you're stuck, huh? Which one's got the grid? That one's got the grid. Okay, so you can see we can put up an airfield anywhere in the game where planes can land. Okay, and again, you lose your engineering unit to building the airfield. You can take the airfield apart and run away with your engineer, but then you lose that. Now, another one that I'm going to have is a supply depot, that you can build a supply depot closer to your units. Therefore, you can supply your units at the front and stuff like that. So anyhow, those are the ideas on the next version of Wargame, which will be the Wargame Studio. And I'm just kind of creating graphics that I think I'm going to use. I can't guarantee I'm going to use them or it's going to work, but this is the first phase for me to go about building that. After this, I'll be starting in on the actual map maker side of it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I love to hear comments. Next time.